Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to you all on a historic day in Seahawk Athletics here at UNCW. I'm Joe Browning, Senior Associate Athletics Director. I'd like to thank you for being here today. We really appreciate it. If you would, please take a moment to silence your cell phones this time. At this time, I'd like to call on Chancellor Aswani Valetti for a very special announcement.
Thank you, Joe. Good afternoon, Seahawks. Today is a great day for UNCW Athletics, and I have the pleasure of announcing the university's 7th athletic director, Michael Oblinger. Michael is coming to UNCW from University of Connecticut, where he serves as the Deputy Director of Athletics, External Relations at UConn. He has nearly 20 years of athletic administrative leadership experience overall. And in addition to that, he was also a student athlete at Monmouth College in Illinois. Of course, Mike, you have big shoes to fill following the footsteps of athletic director Jimmy Bass. Jimmy is traveling with his family today, but I still hope you can join me for a round of applause for Jimmy Bass and all he's done for UNCW. Before I go on, I want to acknowledge the help of many, many individuals, UNCW student athletes, coaches, staff, and their support for this whole process. Over 100 individuals from across the campus, various parts of the campus, and the community have participated in the search process in bringing a fantastic slate of candidates, and I'm very, very pleased with the outcome. I've always said athletics are the front door to the university where they bring people onto the campus, where we can highlight all the wonderful things we do, and Mike understands that role. He is ready to welcome a lot more people onto UNCW's front porch. In fact, he's already brainstorming a lot of ideas already. So, please join me in welcoming the Oblinger family, Mike and his wife Liz, and their children Quinn and Miles to UNCW. Welcome. With that, Mike. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Really surreal moment for us. Thank you, Chancellor Valenti, for this amazing opportunity and warm welcome. Humbled to be selected to serve this university in this way. Again, truly an honor, and this is a wonderful opportunity for me and my family to join the Seahawk family as well. A lot of people, I need to acknowledge a lot of people, and some of them are in this room. My folks are here. Jan and Frank Oblinger came over from Charlotte. Thank you all for being here. It's going to be nice only being a few hours down the road, right? Like the Chancellor said, my family, my beautiful and talented wife Liz, who looks great in teal, by the way, right? Yes, thank you. Miles and Quinn, just so happy that you're here to be able to actually back home we have a break today and tomorrow, so it happened that we're not missing school. That's a great thing, right? So we're not going to get dinged for that, but so grateful that you're here. So thank you, Eddie Stewart and the search committee. Really, Eddie, the first time we had talked and I felt your energy and passion for this university, that's really started the cycle for me that I knew I wanted this job. And so thank you for that. Thank you for the committee. Many of you are here today. Thank you for making this a priority. There are many board of trustees here. Carlton and I had lunch. I had an opportunity to see Hank as well. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for being so supportive of athletics here. Truly grateful. Coaches, athletic staff, student athletes, university friends, Seahawk Club members, thank you all for being here. So many familiar faces from my time when I was on campus during the interview. Thank you so much for being here. Delana Jordan and Daniel Parker with Parker Search, thank you so much for your guidance and support throughout this search process. The Chancellor mentioned Jimmy Bass. Thank you for the warm welcome to this. 12 years as the Athletic director is a great run. Second longest tenure in Seahawk history, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you for your leadership and willingness to always be a phone call away, and I promise you I'll take you up on that. Mentors, you know, I've not gotten here alone. A variety of mentors in my life, and to really understand that how important that really is to get to this level. I think about people at Memphis and Bill Lansden and that crew, Tim Duncan and Steve Stroud, Ziggy Siegfried, Carl Evans, people I still call on every day for guidance and support, and so thankful for that. My time at LSU with Ben Broussard, Ben Ross, Derek Denton, that many of you know, and Mitch Watkins, who made the trek down from Raleigh. I don't know where you're at, man, but thanks for being here. Means a lot. You know, Ben hired me at LSU, and really took some flack for it because I wasn't from there. I didn't get a degree from there, and I really had never stepped foot in Louisiana, and he did it anyway. So very grateful. UConn, David Benedict, my athletic director. Simply put, I wouldn't be here without him. The opportunity to run our development shop 6 years ago, and then grow into the deputy role and turn the keys over to our men's basketball program as a sport administrator. Simply put, that experience put me on this pedestal and got me here, and so very grateful for that. My UConn family, Coach Hurley, Coach Penders, my staff back at home. You know, I think when we moved to Connecticut, we didn't quite realize how special of a place it really is, and we're going to leave thinking it's a fantastic opportunity. And also will be sorely missed. There'll always be a special place in our heart for UConn, and thank you very much for that. As the Chancellor mentioned, I am a former collegiate student athlete, and I was afforded the opportunity to have a transformational experience. Transformational experience because I found my passion, a passion to pay it forward to the young people achieve the same kind of experience that I had. I'm proud and appreciative of the opportunity basketball gave me. Sports opened doors for me. It gave me the opportunity to have a first-class educational experience. These types of experiences are what we will work daily to achieve for our Seahawks student athletes. I was asked a lot during this process, why Wilmington? Why this job? Why now? And when it started doing my research and this opportunity on the surface, I knew it was a great job. I knew it was a great university. I knew it was a great community. The more and more I invested time into it and talked to people, this is when I really turned and went from casually observing the job to pursuing it. I knew it was competitive, but I was ready for that challenge. I view this job, the university, and its athletic program and community as an elite opportunity to be part of something special, to help build upon the remarkable success and work tirelessly to elevate Seahawk athletics. A few priorities for me, and I talked openly about this during the recruitment process, is graduation. We're going to graduate our kids, something that I think we do here already at a high clip. I've visited with the academic staff earlier. Some of them are here now. Thank you for being here. They do remarkable work. To have 277 out of 300 plus student athletes with a 3.0 GPA and a 3.5 GPA overall is truly amazing. We're going to continue that effort as we continue on. I'm committed to the student athlete experience. And what I mean by that is areas that touch our student athletes every single day. Mental health, sports fitness, sports performance, academic support, career services, NIL, facilities and travel. The things that touch our student athletes every day, we have to be a lead in them. It's a must. Resource management. And what I mean by resource management is how we allocate resources coming in, not only that, but how we spend resources going out. We need to be better at fundraising, period. I think I can come and bring that skill set to this university. It's certainly a strength of mine. Competitive excellence. I want to be competitive with everything that we do at the highest level. I want to compete at every single sport at the top of the CAA. That was something that we talked about at dinner when I visited with the Chancellor, but I think we have the potential to absolutely run this league, and I look forward to putting that hefty challenge on top of our student athletes and coaches. In closing, I want you all to know this about me. We won't win. We won't have a mentality of winning at all costs. I'm truly committed to this place, and I look forward to earning this responsibility daily. We will be a student-athlete-centric athletic department. We will demonstrate that with actions and not just words. I look forward to being on this journey with you all. Thank you for being here, and happy to answer any questions. Go Seahawks.
So Mike mentioned earlier he was a basketball student athlete. He's 6'5", I'm not. But it'll be great to have him here. This time we'll ask the media that are assembled if you'd like to have shoot Mike some questions. please identify your affiliation so he can get to know you and know where it's coming from.
Hey, Jake. Nice to meet you.
On getting the job.
Thank you.
You yourself mentioned that we need to get better at fundraising.
Yeah.
Period. That was your quote. What do you think? I've read a little bit on it, but just elaborate a little bit more on your history when it comes to fundraising and why you feel you have the competitive advantage in that.
Sure. You know, listen, whether you're on this campus or UConn or LSU or wherever it is, I mean, fundraising is the same, right? The blocking and tackling and building relationships. I think we have to be out in the community. I think we have to tell our story. And listen, we have a wonderful product, right? And I think if you're going to be on the community and time, effort, and energy, people resonate with that. I think we have to be really intentional with our relationships. I think, listen, I think, the last 13 or so years, I've been involved in places that had to do a lot of facility renovations. I think that's certainly something that I have a lot of understanding of. With that being said, too, facilities only take you so far. You're going to win with people. I certainly understand that, but fundraising, leadership, it's a relationship business, and it's certainly a strength. Thanks, Jay.
Correct. You mentioned the word specifically NIL, right?
Correct.
In what ways do you foresee that? Obviously, it's becoming a huge factor in changing the landscape of college athletics. In what way do you hope to capitalize on an opportunity like that?
Sure. We have to be good in that space as well, right? We have to be able to provide our student athletes the opportunity to monetize themselves. I think a lot of that happens internally, right, with what we provide our student athletes with resources. We need to educate our kids what that means, okay? And I think 18 months ago, 2 years ago, that this wasn't a thing, and it's evolved obviously, and it's still evolving. And so this thing I'll tell you about NIL is we have to educate our student athletes. That starts within, and there's many services and things like that will help us, but we have to, much the same way I talked about the student athlete experience, this is very much a part of it.
And I love that you said your parents are from Charlotte, so right up the road. But what's been your impressions of North Carolina, specifically Wilmington, so far in the short time?
Yeah, it's unfortunately every time I'm here the weather isn't great. I guess that's relatively speaking considering where we're currently coming from, but no, we're excited to be part of a community. We're excited to be here. We've got obviously family and friends in the Southeast. We really enjoy our time in the South, knowing that full well New England is a wonderful place, and we were there for 6 years, and we'll have fond memories. But this was a very personal decision as it relates to getting back to family and friends, and we look forward to meeting new family and friends here in Wilmington.
Hey, Mike, Zach Solon with WECT News. Welcome to
Hey, Zach.
Wilmington. If you could expand on that a little bit, what drew you into this job specifically?
Yeah.
Whether you came here, someone reached out to you there, what was that process like? And then you could just also give us some more insight into the past couple of weeks and you ultimately deciding to come here.
Yeah. When I heard that Jimmy was retiring, I started asking questions, right? People around the country, people in the business. Fortunately for me, I have some connections to the area, so I kind of have an understanding of what's going on. And everyone said to me, it was verbatim, this is going to be a competitive job. And it was. And so that ultimately, I knew that this was going to be something that I wanted to jump in with both feet, if you will. So, like I referenced earlier, the more and more I learned, the more and more I wanted to be a part of it, right? And so, as it relates to the process, there's a certain point where I really pursued this thing pretty heavily. Talking to Eddie and the search committee pretty early on was key, I think, to kind of get a gauge on what they were looking for, what kind of profile, being a fundraiser. Having the experience that I've had at UConn with our basketball programs obviously will translate well here. But yeah, it's, listen, anytime you go through these processes, you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out. I'm so fortunate that it did. I actually got the call from the chancellor while I was in Florida on UConn business, so it was a little difficult to kind of stay focused at times, but we hustled up, got my crew, we got on a plane, and we were down here on Saturday, and it's been a whirlwind ever since.
Now you mentioned you've got fundraising experience with facilities, and now obviously in the new world of NIL. When you learned about this department, what is maybe one or two areas that you'd like to focus on to take things to the next level?
Yeah, I certainly think on the external side, I think there's some things that naturally will just come to me because, again, that's what I do every single day, right? I oversee our revenue generating areas in stores, and so that just comes naturally to me, right? I think everything that we do really internally, we're doing at a high level, academics and anything that touches our student athletes. So I certainly think coming in and feeling the comfort zone of the external side will be where I really get going out the gate.
Is there a plan for the first athletic event that you're going to attend?
Well, it already happened. During my interview process, I came to the NC North Carolina State Wilmington basketball game. No one knew because I snuck in to buy a ticket and went up in the upper level and just sat there. So I guess technically it doesn't count, but I think I'll be at the conference tournament and try to make both men's and women's while we're before we wrap up in stores. Sure.
I'd like to thank Mike for being here and his family, of course, beautiful family. Thanks for being here. That concludes our formal portion of our press conference. Mike will be here afterward for individual one-on-ones if you'd like to talk to him, and also the chancellor will be around. So thank you all for attending. We look forward to seeing you at the events this week. We have a busy weekend ahead. Thank you.